Chris, a 4-2 defeat at Manchester United, but there was so much involved in the performance. What do you want to say about how your team performed tonight?
Yes, a lot of things to take away. You come into places like this, and it should inspire and it should lift. Every game should lift and inspire, but especially when you come into a place like this tonight and try and put on your best performance individually and help the team to get a result. So players have done that tonight, but I think same old stuff that's letting us down defensively. Some poor decisions again. We worked hard in our shape, which we had to. You still look at team sheets as well, and I know the narrative is, Man United aren't this and Man United aren't that, but you still look at the team sheet and it seems when the cards that you have to play through injuries and the like, and the team how it is. Go and do your best. Go and represent yourself. Go and represent your football club. Go and represent your supporters. And I think they've done that tonight. To score 2 away from home at Old Trafford and be in the game for 80 minutes. We know, we understood that we'd have to defend at times, and we understood that we'd get an opportunity to play. And we did defend well at times, and we had an opportunity to play. It's just those really big moments that we have to make really good decisions defensively. Because that's part of being a good player that we let ourselves down with, and even for me, it wasn't it didn't feel like a one-way game. We had opportunity to play, we had opportunity to pass it, so we were brave and we showed personality and that, and we created some good openings. And unfortunately, yet again, I should imagine there's been times where we've been absolutely put to bed by teams, and it hasn't been good enough. But there's been so many of those games, like tonight, that if we're better in certain situations and certain moments, both ends of the pitch, then we come away with points. And it's an old favourite of mine. We've managed to turn a potential win into a loss, not like a loss into a draw or a draw into a win, and it's happened too many times.
It seemed like you were forced into a few substitutions second half, which affected maybe the shape and people's positioning, because you've been very disciplined up to that point. Did that disrupt things second half? Yeah,
that doesn't help, because Bogle was outstanding, but he's complaining of a tight calf. And I have to respect that. I'm looking at it and going, do we gamble? Do we big gamble? And it is a big gamble. And he was cramping up and he was tightening up, and we have to make a decision on that. For the boy as well. From his health and well-being. Can't just go and say, well, go and see it through. He pulls his calf, he's out for the season. We've still got games to go, and we still got a lot to play for. We're not below the red line now, but obviously I did say, over that weekend, that week, sort of the Brentford and the Burnley game, it was a massive blow, and it really does put us. Listen, we were on the back foot as it was, but it really does put us in a situation that ultimately looks like we're gonna suffer the fate of what happens. It's quite difficult because you don't really want to talk about it really, because you still want to fight for it. But I think we have to be honest and realistic. So with Jayden, with McAtee, he comes on and strains his groin, and McBurney before the game this week, off the back of the game last week. So he's out, so he goes for a scan to tomorrow morning as well. So listen, it's all things that it all feels things are piling up against us, but we're still having a scrap. The supporters are still believing in us. Yeah, again, I think I'm not going to say anything, because it'll look like I'm saying what I'm trying to say for a certain reason. I'm not. You will obviously talk about that and make your own comments about how good the supporters were.
Ollie McBurney, what is the situation with him?
Yeah, he goes for a scan tomorrow, so we'll have more to report on that when we get the results of the scan.
What's the actual injury?
Groin injury, groin injury, yeah.
In terms of the decisions, we talked on Monday. You said you got a number of big decisions to make. You made one in net with Wes Fodringham coming in tonight, and he seemed to pull off a number of good saves.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. So yeah, listen, as I said, I could have made that decision at half time, but I did. And you look back, do you make that right decision or not? Of course, when we're looking, we have to make some of these big decisions, and it was the right thing to do. To put Wes in, I thought it was outstanding. So, it was a really good performance from Wes. He had to make some crucial saves. All goalkeepers in this division have to make saves, and you have to make big ones, and he did, especially when you come into places like this.
To some of the others, you brought Brooks off at half time. Was that tactical or?
Yeah, it was just with the two young kids in the middle of the park. They were just getting pulled apart a little bit. Brooksy's played high 8 really, so that's the sort of position that he's used to playing. And when we went to a 4 and we went narrow 4 in there because we felt that was the right thing to do, we were getting overloaded too many times out on the wide. We popped Ben out onto the left, and we needed 2 sitting midfield players. So the one, it was a tactical one. It was nothing to do with how Brooksy did, but we sort of felt the end of the half in maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes that they were playing too many times through the central midfield area and that pocket. So that was something, but he'll learn, and he'll get better in terms of the coaching and the information that he's given. So that was something that we did, and he was okay with that. I was delighted with his performance, when he come on, but it was just a change of shape really.
And I know we've talked a lot about Oliver Arblaster over recent weeks. You gave him the armband tonight to walk out at Old Trafford, with his boyhood club. Talk us through the decision that you made with that, and just why you felt tonight was the right time to do it.
I know, and I did. He didn't need any inspiration. He didn't need any motivation. He's our best player. He went to Liverpool and had to deal with the 3 midfield players. He played against £200 million worth of central midfield players. Against Chelsea, and was the best midfield player on the park. He's been outstanding. He was great against Brentford. It's not a sentimental thing. It's not anything. I knew how humble he would be. I knew he'd lead from example by example. I knew that he'd pass on. He takes information on and he'd pass that on. And I knew he'd produce a top performance, and he did. The longer the game went on, he's running past a couple of our midfield players in the 85th, 90th minute. So. He's got a big future, so that was a natural decision. It was a natural decision for me, and he's going to be a big player. He's going to be a good player, and we're delighted he's with us. And like I said, it's it wasn't just that of doing anything. We felt, and the players should, because he has been our standout player for the last 6 or 7 games, the amount of games that he's played. So and I knew that he'd go toe to toe with their midfield players, and he did yet again. He was outstanding.
Thanks, Chris.
For a 20-year-old.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah.